Hey, welcome to your Gemini horoscopes for the week of the 3rd through the 9th of March. And we have no planets in Gemini this week. We do still have Vespa in Gemini, however, continuing to focus that energy on old stuff, getting rid of old stuff. Lots of triggers come up around this time, and we're continuing to look at security triggers that are coming up. But as much as it sounds like that is really just terrible, like the world is beating you down by continuing to allow these triggers to come up, or because the world is just creating the triggers around you. One of the things that I have learned in my 47 years of being on this earth is that I get triggered more when there's a lesson in there, specifically one that I am trying to avoid learning. We're all on a healing journey here, so to speak. And, being that we're all on a healing journey here, so to speak, a lot of times these triggers are coming up just in order for us to identify where they're coming from and to let the stale feelings that you had from back then go. And I know that that's really difficult to do because I have been there just like you. So obviously, I would not, well, not obviously, some people would say you need to do this and not do it themselves. I tend to not like to be a hypocrite, but at the same time, sometimes I am, I'm only human after all. Most of the time, I am aware of what the trigger is trying to teach me, where it's coming from. If I'm not aware right away, kind of sort of go down the rabbit hole there and I identify where it's coming from and I let it go. And sometimes that's easy, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes I don't want to let it go. We all have those situations. So the way I look at it is, as long as I'm actively working through them most of the time, I can be forgiven for not wanting to work through them some of the time, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, when you're having a really bad day, and everybody always tells you when you're in a really bad mood, if you just smile every once in a while, you'll feel better. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I want to punch those people in the face like so bad, because in that moment, the last thing I want to be told is what to do, is to smile or to do anything for that matter. In fact, I find it offensive because I feel like I'm not allowed to have the feelings that I'm having. I should go ahead and change those feelings because it bothers somebody else. Now, granted, I also work really hard on not taking those feelings out on everybody around me. I'm very aware of it. It still happens from time to time. Again, I'm only human, but I'm very aware of that most of the time. So really, if I am being aware and I'm not taking it out on you, get your nose out of my business. If I want to be in a bad mood, I can be in a bad mood, and nobody can tell you whether you should or shouldn't. I think the point here is that those types of moods come from something. They come from insecurities in some way. And when we can identify where that insecurity comes from, we can get some power over that. We can learn from that. We can embrace that. We can decide that that was then and this is now and make different choices. There's a million things that we can do when that happens. And unfortunately, if we're avoiding this process, we tend to be triggered over and over and over again until we finally get worn down to the point where we actually stop avoiding the problem. It is frustrating to the extreme, yes, but I didn't write the rule book, okay? I just figured out what the rule book actually said. Didn't mean that I had to agree with it or should agree with it or any of those other things. It just kind of is what it is. Got a new thing for you guys in the horoscopes. I'm going to pull a tarot card. I've already done my shuffle and my all that stuff. So I have pulled for you guys the Five of Cups in reverse, which is kind of interesting. as the Five of Cups in reverse. The Five of Cups in reverse indicates troubles are ending. Acceptance is the key, and spiritual growth happens as you learn the lessons that these triggers are giving you. I did not look at this card before I started. Okay. I just shuffled and split the deck and then waited to actually pull the card until that moment. So that sounds like some pretty good confirmation for you guys. Bottom line is insecurity should never hold you back. You guys are brilliant. You can literally do anything that you put your minds to. When those insecurities come up and they rear their ugly little heads, you put them right in their place where they belong so that they're not getting in your way. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my Ko-fi link, which is in the description of the video. Really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Also, check out my website. You can book time. You can do all kinds of stuff there. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you really, really awesome people, make it a great week. And I'll see you next week.